Yeah, that's the way my wife is too. She does. Oh, hey! Welcome back, Presidential Madness. Tonight we recap the Sweet 16. 8 great cage matches as we battle down to the toughest president of the United States history. I'm Mark Haggard, a history teacher gone rogue, alongside Hitman Dan Young, longtime AP US history teacher, basketball and tennis coach, former cage fighter himself. Dan, you didn't tell me that you were on Team Tyson for the Holyfield fight.
Yes, I was, and that whole ear thing was my fault. I told Iron Mike to go out there and eat him alive. Little did I know he was going to take me literal on that one.
Well, I guess you did. We want you to keep up with our matches. Subscribe to History Teacher Gone Rogue. Click on the bell so you know when the bell rings on our matches. Do you agree with our assessments of these 8 matches? Leave a comment. By the way, our matches are scored by a panel of outstanding historians. Dan and me, the fight doctor Dave McDonald, OC Rob Doring, and Jason Taylor. All right, Dan, let's start in the South region. Bridgestone Arena, Nashville, Tennessee. John F. Kennedy versus Franklin Pierce. Kennedy, in his corner, crosses himself. Pierce takes one last swig, then mutters, "I fight better when I'm drunk." Pierce collects himself, light on his feet, sticking and moving, kind of like Jackie Chan in the 1979 movie The Drunken Master. This bout went back and forth, even for about 6 minutes, until Pierce got a double leg takedown, got behind Kennedy, breathed on him, choking out profiles in courage. Did this being Kennedy's third match get to him?
I think it did, and this match kind of went down just the way I thought it would. A tough, grueling 5-round match, split decision at the end. It'll just be interesting to see if Pierce can rebound from this physical bout into the next round.
Yeah, vicious battle. Franklin Pierce, winner of a hard-fought battle. Moving on. Pierce kind of the underdog coming into this thing. He's the VCU of 2011. He's George Mason of 2006. Now he has the unenviable task because in the other fight in Nashville, Andrew Jackson went all simian feces on Dwight D-Day Eisenhower.
Yeah, I think Pierce is going to probably have to spend the next 24 hours in a hyperbaric chamber just to recover from this one.
Now, this was Eisenhower's third fight. Jackson had a first-round bye, then made quick work of Reagan in his first fight. Jackson was fresh, and he looked the part. He freaking sprinted to the octagon, waited on Eisenhower. Ike entered the arena to the army him as the caissons go rolling along. Old Hickory didn't even wait for the bell, punching him on the way in. Pouncing on him like a tiger, driving him into the side of the cage, gets a couple of punches in, then finishes D-Day with a wicked right cross. Jackson, not even waiting for the ref to raise his hand, sprints out of the arena, back to his locker room. Dude is focused.
I'm actually surprised this bout went that long. This is one of the most focused presidents we've seen in this entire tournament. See if he keeps it rolling.
Yeah. All right, in the Midwest, the Target Center in Minneapolis. First fight of the night was Lyndon Johnson versus Ulysses S. Grant, a match that shocked the heck out of me. Grant, Civil War hero. Johnson, no wartime record to speak of, but he is a bigger, stronger fighter. Johnson put Grant on the floor with a strong straight right to start the match. Grant was hurt early. The brawler from Texas then began using his reach advantage, keeping Grant away from his ribs, then snuck a huge right hook to Grant's jaw. Grant went to the mat. Johnson got behind him, choked him out. To Dan's dismay, while Grant was passed out, Johnson went to Grant's corner, grabbed one of his cigars, took a couple of puffs, and flicked the ashes on him.
Yeah, this one was a tough one for me, but I like the idea of going and grabbing that cigar. Hats off to him on that one.
That's a good move on his part. Very WWE of him.
Absolutely.
In the evening match, Teddy Roosevelt versus John Quincy Adams. The fight doctor called this one. Adams 6 tries to go rope-a-dope on Teddy, trying to wear him out. Teddy hit him hard and often, and eventually got one on the mutton chop at the 4:58 mark of the fight. Adams went down, lights out. Roosevelt exited the ring. Dan, anything stopping the Teddy train?
I think the only thing that can possibly slow down this locomotive right now is nothing. Nothing stopping this. Roosevelt is on a downhill path with no brakes. He's going all the way.
All right. In the East, in Washington, D.C., George Washington versus James Garfield. Garfield came out strong, I think surprising the father. Washington hurt Garfield with a well-placed left hook, then sent him to the floor. Washington goes to the mat with him. I don't like that move by Washington. When you're 6'2" and 180 pounds, I think you stay on your feet and punch. Garfield got to the quick reversal of Washington. Then the father escaped, got some momentum from the fencing on the side of the octagon and launched himself into Garfield. A flying knee to the chest. Garfield went to the floor. Washington was able to finish the job.
Yeah, Garfield put up a better fight than I did. Maybe it was because Washington took him to the mat with that reach advantage, but in the end, old number one was just too much.
I think it's going to be too much for a lot of people. In the late match, Barack Obama versus William McKinley. This was tough. Obama gets in several gut punches. McKinley, looking like Rocky Balboa, taking punches, hoping that Obama would wear himself out. No Underground Railroad this time. McKinley then bum rushes number 44, driving him into the side of the cage, then sets his feet, gets in with that one punch that sends Obama up and out of the octagon.
Yeah, I had Obama in this one, but it didn't surprise me that McKinley came out on top. My only question is, does McKinley get his mountain named back after him?
That'd be a good prize for this fight. Hey, out in the West region of Anaheim, James Monroe versus Zachary Taylor. Revolutionary War versus Mexican War. These two went to the center of the ring and just pounded on each other. Both war veterans leaving blood and guts and sweat all over the mat. Monroe got Taylor to the floor with a double leg takedown, a couple shots in on the head, then jumped up yelling, "Valley Forge, baby!" Taylor scrambled to his feet, took Monroe down, shouting, "Monterey!"
Yeah, this fight kind of reminded me of the old movie Far and Away. Old Joseph going toe-to-toe in the ring, holding up their flag afterwards. That's exactly how this one went down.
Right on. All right. Hey, the late night match. Richard Milhouse Nixon versus Abraham Lincoln. Wow. The wrestler versus the footballer. Nixon starts the fight in a three-point stance and drives number 16 into the side of the cage, getting a couple of rabbit punches in. Abe pushes Dickey off of him and counters with a combination, using his exceptional reach. After a few moments of circling each other, trying to find an opening, Tricky Dick makes a perfect Crowther progression tackle, getting Abe to the mat. He delivers a couple of body blows. Then a cut opened up mysteriously over Lincoln's eye. It was like Diego Maradona in the Hand of God goal in the 1986 World Cup. Nixon punches the wound unceasingly, blood splattering all over the ring and the first three rows of the Honda Center. Some of Lincoln's blood actually got on Nixon, and it actually looked like smoke was rising from Nixon's flesh. They both scrambled to their feet, but Lincoln's knees were wobbly, the blood filling his right eye. Nixon got a haymaker in. Lincoln went to the ground, and Nixon finished off a great emancipator, and now I feel dirty.
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone feels dirty after this one. Tricky Dick taking down Honest Abe, that's a tough one. For more on that, actually, we have Harry Carey standing by in Anaheim. Let's go to him.
Hey, everybody. Harry Carey here. It was bobblehead night at Presidential Madness. I got me a Millard Fillmore bobblehead. It's got more spring than Sammy Sosa. I put it on the dash of my 72 Plymouth Valiant, so I know when I'm driving out of my lane. Hey, Dave, they said you were a tennis coach. How do you like wearing those shorts? They look uncomfortable to me. Hey, does your dog like tennis balls? Mine does. If I was in charge of making dog treats, I'd make them tennis ball flavored. I might even try a couple. Wash them down with a tall, cool Budweiser. Hey, Dave, would you eat a tennis ball flavored dog treat?
I might give that a try, actually.
Hey, Dave, how about that Richard Nixon? 1 minute he's on the Great Wall of China, the next minute he's resigning from his golf club. How does he get around so fast? It's like he's being teleported from place to place. He looked like he was teleported into the ring tonight. Hey, Dave, how about that Kim Jong-un? He's a tough little Chinese guy. I wonder if he likes Panda Express. Hey, if Kim Jong-un asked you to go lunch with him at Panda Express, would you go?
I probably would, yeah.
I would. I'd get the Szechuan chicken with egg rolls and wash it down with a tall, cool Budweiser. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win. Hey, since we got some time here, let's look forward to the regional finals. Looks to me, Dan, if this was the NCAA tournament, it'd be like 4 number 1 seeds and 4 like number 5 seeds. Am I wrong?
I think you're pretty accurate with that one. There's a lot of favorites here. We'll see if we can have any more upsets coming along like we've seen in this past few rounds.
So how do these 5 seeds get to the Final Four? Is there some route for them?
I think it's going to come down to some hard training and grit. These top 4 seeds, they are rough and ready, and they are primed. They are ready to go on to those next rounds. They want the championship, so it's going to have to be a true underdog story here.
All right, let's keep it in the West, still in Anaheim. The surprise of the tournament, Richard Nixon versus Zachary Taylor. Nixon celebrating the hand of God punch that cut Lincoln above the eye. Is there any more divine intervention for Tricky Dick, or does the run end with Taylor?
Nixon's been on a tear here, but he's going to have to be more ruthless than he's ever been. He's going to have to pull out more tricks than he has yet. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm not sure he has what's in him to take down Taylor.
Yeah, we had Nixon finished a long time ago, but he still keeps popping up. You know, it's like that gopher in Caddyshack.
Probably one of the biggest villains in cinematic history, which makes sense because Nixon, one of the biggest villain presidents in American history.
All right, in the Midwest, in Minneapolis, Lyndon Johnson versus Teddy Roosevelt. Johnson with a 4-inch height advantage on Teddy. Tough, but wow. Roosevelt. If you stand toe-to-toe with him, he uses his boxing skills. If you go to the mat, he uses his jiu-jitsu skills. Can LBJ frustrate TR?
A 5 seed, I think, would be very generous for LBJ in this one. His time has got to be running to an end, and about time. I can't stand this guy.
I think that if Johnson uses reach advantage, he's got a chance. Don't let Teddy get into your body, stick and move. If Ted can get LBJ close or get him on the mat, LBJ has no chance. But I think LBJ has a chance. In the South, Nashville, Franklin Pierce versus Andrew Jackson. Franklin Pierce making a run as an underdog. You know, most people didn't even know who he was when he started. A lot of people thought they were going to see Alan Alda climb into the octagon as Benjamin Franklin Pierce from MASH. Now people know who he is. Does he have anything in his arsenal that might help him against Jackson?
I don't think Pierce has anything to help him here. Did you know that Jackson, while he was a POW in the Revolutionary War, actually had his face slashed by a sword because he refused to shine a British soldier's boots? That's a type of tenacity and willing to put your body on the line that I want to see in the octagon.
Man, he still carries that scar with him even after resurrected. I think just the fact that Pierce can take a punch will frustrate old Hickory. Pierce is kind of the what's the point of living anymore guy. He really did lose everything before becoming president. So what's the difference if Jackson hurts him here? This is kind of the opposite of Lyndon Johnson's plan to win. All right, in the East region, Washington, D.C., George Washington versus William McKinley. McKinley reminds me of Daniel Russo in the 1984 All-Valley Karate Tournament, starting way back in the pack, coming this far, representing the Miyagi-Do. How's he going to do against one of the baddest dudes in the tournament, the Johnny Lawrence of presidents? Does Mac have a crane kick in him for old number one?
I'm going to take Johnny and Cobra Kai in this one. Washington sweeps the leg.
Sweeps the leg. I believe that the officials at the tournament clearly said that any contact above the shoulders was illegal. Russo, what a jerk. Johnny, handing him the trophy, gracious in defeat. Hey, regional finals next time. Who makes it the Final Four? Looking forward to our next episode of Presidential Madness. We certainly want you to subscribe and ring the bell so you know when the bell rings on our matches. Leave a comment. Who was the toughest president of the United States history? Or who would win these individual matches discussed? Like and share. Dan, any last thoughts?
Yeah, we are halfway through this tournament now, and it's only heating up. I am sitting on the edge of my seat to see who has the mental fortitude and the physical abilities to get through onto that championship match.
Oh, yeah. I'm having fun, but I'm not going to quit my day job. And hey, remember, next time you see Richard Nixon be teleported into the octagon with Abraham Lincoln, remember us. I'm Mark Haggard. He's Dan Young. We're history teachers, and we're going rogue.